Hello, and welcome back to Mortals and Portals, a Pathfinder real play podcast. I am your host and GM, Zach, and joining me at the table is...
Adam, and I play Jules, an Azarketi bard.
I'm Joel, and I play Dax, a kobold rogue.
Ryan, I play Tough, an automaton inventor.
Darren, and I play Waltz, a human champion.
Josh, and I play Don Reynarquiano de las Nubes, a swashbuckler.
Swashbuckling. That's perfect.
Hey, swash your buckles.
Joel, did you kind of like do something in your introduction? Did you do a voice a little bit?
I was just trying to copy the sultry tones of...
Little airy, little breathy.
It just seemed like Joel participated a little bit in that. That was cool.
I finally joined.
These mics are hot.
Welcome.
Hot mic, yeah. Cool. Josh is still here. Josh, thank you for joining us once again. That is Josh, the host, producer, GM of the Titans of Valterra podcast, and a longtime player in the Sneak Attack podcast, 25E podcast you should check out. All right. And we kind of do some plugs in the beginning this time because I know you guys skipped the end. But hey, give us a review if you haven't already. Give us 5 stars. Tell your friends. Check us out on Reddit, Instagram, and Patreon, and Discord. Yeah, I updated our show notes to include the Discord invite link. So if you just want to chat with us, yeah, go check out that link and join our Discord, hang out. Someone will probably offer you an apple when you do that. And
I dare you. I dare you to join the Discord.
Don't ignore them. If you join the Discord and someone offers you an apple and you don't say anything, there's a few people that have joined the Discord, but just to silently observe, and they never react to the invitation to an apple. Don't do that. I mean, you can go silent after you acknowledge the generous invitation to take an apple for free. There's no strings attached. You don't need any silver. It's totally free. We'll see.
Because once you get far enough in the podcast, you'll never reject another apple again.
Yeah, or
you'll understand.
You'll never hear about an apple.
Yeah, what's in that?
And not cry.
This is the first time I talked this episode. Give me a
second.
Give me a second.
Is this the podcast where we talk about apples?
Yes.
Applecast.
Yeah, am I in the right place? Is this the Apple Podcast?
Speaking of Apple Podcasts, write a review on there too. Also, we need to get our 5 stars up on there. Yo, someone gave us our first 3-star, and they said the title of the review was that there was plot armor, and they're talking about episode 25 in which Ryu died. It's the most perplexing thing ever. How can you have plot armor and die in the same episode? It was just one of those things where I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I just...
He used his plot armor
but
to
you know
die.
What? Hey, you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
They're entitled to their opinion.
They are entitled to their opinion.
Even if it's wrong.
Even if it's wrong.
I was like, interesting
They can
stance.
still have an
Okay.
apple. You can still get an apple.
They said the entire experience of Ryu dying exhausted them. Basically, they were like, it made me tired. And I was like, well,
Ryan, did you write
I'm
that
sorry,
review?
man.
Ryan, is that your review?
Be honest.
It made me tired too.
My favorite part too is they were like, I really enjoyed the show until. So it's like they had 25 episodes where they liked it, and they're like, I'm not going to write a review. And then they had one episode where they're like, man, that exhausted me. I'm going to go write a review right now.
You guys remember?
So
you guys
Zach is lost sleep over this.
remember that movie
If
where?
you want Zach to
I'm
roast
tasting
you, just
him.
leave a bad review.
Remember that movie where
that's right.
Obi-Wan died because he had such strong plot armor?
Yes, exactly. Their plot armor is so strong that they
Spoiler
die.
alert.
Or that kid in My Girl who's allergic to bees, such strong plot armor.
Yeah.
Spoilers, I haven't finished it yet.
Maybe I shouldn't give more airtime to bad reviews than to good
He
ones,
needs
but,
his glasses.
I'm only halfway through My Girl.
Yeah, I think that happens in the beginning, doesn't it? Anyway, we're way off. Maybe I can't do plugs in the beginning anymore. We get way off track. All right. Anyways, last time on Mortals and Portals, you guys continued to fight the T-Rex. We did some serious soul searching in between episodes, and we read up a bunch of Pathfinder rules and all
I would
about our
argue we
abilities.
started fighting the T-Rex in episode 2.
Yeah, episode 1 was just
Whoa.
Yeah.
It probably does feel
We
like
actually-
a whole month passed between the 2 episodes.
yeah.
We
You
actually
guys turned from,
considered
just-
not recording a second episode so we could learn our characters before.
That was a legitimate.
next
Do you guys
episode.
need time to and you guys were like, no, let's do this.
And we did it
It's
on
like
the
you
spot.
guys
We did it
achieved
live.
your final
we did it
form.
live.
Using the aid action to kill this T-Rex,
So
just all
cool.
these
That was
abilities
fantastic.
coming out of nowhere. I was like, what is this? The full potential of Pathfinder finally unlocked after 50 episodes. It's working. It's working. Yeah. And all it took was Josh, dude. Josh was the catalyst. He's like, look, guys, I'll learn Pathfinder for you. Follow my lead. I've never played before. Just follow my lead. You guys are idiots. Try this.
I've DM'd Pathfinder before. It's not my first.
Oh, okay.
It's not my
I was gonna
first
say,
time.
it seems fitting that you would know more
It's been years,
Pathfinder than
though.
we do.
You know what, Josh? I'm just gonna say it, and I don't know if the guys will agree with me, but
Go ahead,
I'm glad
Ryan.
you're here.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan. Ryan, go ahead.
I just said it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ryan,
Ryan.
whenever you're
Yeah.
ready, I'm ready to
Yeah.
hear it.
We're
Just
all
say it,
ears,
dude.
Ryan.
Just
Go
say
ahead.
it, Ryan. Why would you?
Open
What are you
up.
taking so long?
Too much.
It's a safe
pressure
place.
now. You guys are
Gosh.
making me shy.
All right, that's fine. Just pipe in if you ever work up the courage, bud. You got it.
I hope one day our
Safe-
characters
safe
can be
place.
friends.
This is the worst intro.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're getting
happening?
a little carried away. aren't
Okay,
we?
yeah.
Should we
Yeah.
restart?
No, let's just keep going. Yeah, basically they fought the T-Rex. They did a great job. They used teamwork. Jules was revived by the life shot. Dax is like getting critical hits. Waltz is realizing he could shoot lightning because he was inspired by the T-Rex that he thought could shoot lightning.
Inspired the liars,
funny to
baby.
me.
Don Renard's using all his panache. Yeah, it was incredible. They defeated it, and then they just took some time to like talk to each other because it was like a near-death experience basically, and they're just really jiving with each other, getting that camaraderie going, that teamwork. And then they headed to a conveniently placed cave to take shelter from the rain and rest up for the night. And that is where we ended our session. So that is where we will start our session. Starting specifically with Dax. Dax, you find yourself standing in Dreckheim in
Oh.
the Dwarven Forge where you secured the ingot of corium. Only there are no dwarves here. Nobody smelting anything, forging anything. Other blacksmith terms that I definitely know. None of that is going on. And you're just standing there with the glow of the lava, and you look up towards the skull of Theragun. Lava pouring out of her mouth, paraded as some sort of trophy, as you know that this forge used to be her lair before the first dwarves arrived on Drakis, looking for places to mine and then stumbling upon the slumbering Theragun, weak from the draconic war known as Drakthum, in which she was the last remaining dragon on Drakis. And you just stare at this skull, thinking of all the loss you've experienced, with Digsby and Ryu and Dunadas and just potentially Meeg and Theragun herself. And as you stare at this skull, sort of having this rage stir within you, suddenly the lava starts to flicker as if it's there, no longer there, no longer there. The light pulsing like a strobe, and it goes completely black. And as you stare where Theragun's skull was, you hear a deep grumble and red eyes glowing through the darkness precisely where the skull was, barely revealing some draconic scales as you hear a deep grumbling voice say, "Drak Zoo." And you see a pulse of red light as the lava flares, and for a brief moment you see all of Theragun in all of her glory, her wings expanded, a massive red dragon with horns that run down her back, muscular arms, muscular legs, a spiked tail, massive wings, and a rush of energy pulses from her, and you feel intense, searing pain, and suddenly you awake, covered in sweat, feeling an intense pain in your back.
Joel, also as you awaken, you see Tuff just staring over you.
Tough. You noticed that Dax, since you were awake, noticed that Dax had been rolling in his sleep, muttering things, saying Drakzu, Drakzu. He is covered in sweat. You could tell he was in some sort of pain. He was gripping his blanket.
Tuff will just be kind of looking weirdly at Dax. Morning, buddy. Nightmare?
Dax, you're definitely in a lot of pain right now.
I guess. I don't know. I dream nightmare or something. Is there something wrong with my back? And Dax will turn over. Hurts like hell.
And as he turns his back towards you, you notice Dax has two very small wings and has shed some of his skin, and it just looks like it ripped right out of his back.
Oh, gross. What the heck are those things? And Tuff's gonna start poking at the wings.
God! Ow! What the? I don't know.
Gross, it got on my finger. I'll,
And the rest
flick
of
some-
Digby's crew would no doubt awake to this commotion.
God, what is it, Duff?
They're like, I don't know, arms or toes or something.
What's going on?
Who has
Look at his
toes?
back.
Oh, Dax! You've got wings.
Are those always
When
been
did
there?
that happen?
Wings.
Ah, that makes much more sense.
Dax, how did this happen?
I mean, physically, I don't know, but I had a nightmare, saw Theragoon. She said something to me in Draconic. I mean, didn't really have anything to do with wings, but
Is this normal for your kind?
I guess is it?
No. You've heard of kobolds having wings in some capacity, but it's sort of a legendary thing that happens. And as far as you know, if you're a descendant of a dragon that's dead, you can never really achieve this, or this hasn't really happened in any capacity that you know of for dragons that are now extinct. But dragons that live, those kobolds may be chosen as like special warriors on behalf of the dragon.
Perhaps this is part of your test for being a keeper. I'm sorry. They are not very pleasing to look at.
Yeah, those look really raw and like fresh. I don't like looking
Yeah,
at
they
the
hurt
scales
a
all over
lot.
the ground.
Tuff will gag a little. Oh, yeah, maybe we should get rid of him. Don Renard, why don't you bring your sword over?
Do you have to keep flickering
Calm
them with
down.
your... Oh, they wiggle around.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, calm down. It's not that bad.
They're
Cervantes.
hideous,
I mean,
Jules.
thank you, Jules. You don't have to look at them. Jeez. Stop staring at me.
We'll put him away.
Sniffs the wings and then kind of pulls back a little repulsed.
I did not know this is what I was signing up for when I took this feat.
Just when they're brand new.
All excited for this new ability that he's going to get.
This
like
new
a
ancestry
stinky
feat. I get
raw.
winglets, but they're gonna stink real bad. It's like a would you rather. You get, not a would you, yeah.
You get wings,
like
but
press the
they're
button
nasty.
thing. Yeah.
Perhaps we
Gross,
can...
You get
dog.
wings.
Perhaps
but
we
they
can go
stink.
get some water. Zoki, could you perhaps fetch us fill the canteen and maybe we can
Yeah,
come
sure,
wash?
yeah, no problem.
wash these
Okay,
off.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll step closer and kind of examine them a little bit more. You said they hurt. Do you need anything?
I mean, I think they'll be fine. It's just a lot of aching. I've never experienced anything like this. It's hard to explain.
I'll say, hold still, buddy, and then I'll just kind of start picking some of this.
Find a good sound for that thing, just
Ow.
like skin peeling. Everyone's like,
yeah.
"Ugh, all right, I'm done with this episode.
Sorry.
Spending
I am
way
both
too much
so
time
ill
on
and I
this.
cannot look away.
It's like when you
I'm
get a
not
really
trying
bad
to-
sunburn and you get all flaky and you just kind of
Exactly, yeah. Not trying to make it worse. I'm just probably better that this doesn't stay on here.
Can you all roll me a perception check?
Yeah, no problem.
I'll do
22.
24.
18.
22.
15.
Waltz and Dax, as everyone's like fixated on Dax's new wings, you all notice that as Reynard was standing there looking completely shocked at this, and everyone's like fixated on that Reynard's mustache has now become like a reddish white and is sort of curling upwards and looks a lot bushier than it did before, and his eyes are yellow.
Is he turning into Josh?
I am sure that regardless of how strange he looks, he is still our same companion that he's always been. But it is... What are you looking at?
Well, Reynard, you look different.
How so?
Your mustache, it's different and your eyes are darker. Waltz is trying to be polite and not say like older or like gross.
You okay?
I think I prefer to dye my hair. I'm afraid that my dye is washed off, and it is
Zoki comes in and sets down the water, and she goes, "Whoa, what happened to your mustache? It's like bigger and bushier." And a different color. And
Okay.
yeah, what?
But,
What?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier.
Hmm?
Yeah, it's just in a nicer way. Yeah. But yes, yeah. Something's going on. What's that all about?
I
Being
think
a little
I kinda-
suspicious.
I kind of feel like Reynard has to let go of the ghost at this point.
Is he aware, Ginger?
Reynard would just kind of shrug his shoulder and says, "All right, I suppose Dax has shown us his wings. I will show you my true form." And then he turns into a fox-looking person with a big fluffy tail. And
What the?
he's a kitsune.
Nice.
Kitsune.
Awesome. Do it again.
Uh,
Wait, have you just been doing a spell this whole time?
It is a natural. I have the ability to change shape. My people, we value our secrecy, and this is our natural form.
What
Sounds like I
Kitsune,
need
huh?
to do more art now.
Well,
Sorry,
I'm just a little
sorry,
offended.
Adam.
You said I was a disgusting creature, and like you're a fox. Like, I mean,
I don't know
we're
what you're
not so
talking
different.
about.
Oh,
We are very different. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm coming to learn the value of what of who you are.
Ah.
Okay, Zach, are we familiar with this race? Is this a race that we've seen or know of?
I would say none of you have met one in person and may have heard that they exist, but have never seen one.
Okay.
And don't know if you believe, except Dax has seen a fox person before. This is true.
Sure. I mean, technically, we've all seen one now at this point.
Yes,
Okay.
Adam.
Not because he just transformed,
It's
but because
he's got like
before
one
we
in
went
real
on the
life,
node,
yeah.
he's
we
got
saw-
a very like it's not like a human face with like wolf features. It is a fully vulpine face with
Yeah.
golden eyes and
Oh, that's why that Pokemon
red and
was
white
called
fur.
Vulpix.
Waltz will go up and start petting Reynard. Wow, Reynard, that's
That is
incredible.
listen.
Whoa,
you're-
that's
it feels nice, but I don't believe it is appropriate.
feels nice.
Yeah, I've heard of your kind before. Kitsune or something like that, right?
I believe that is how you would know us. Yes,
Can't say I know much about your kind, though.
that is with purpose. It's I have broken many vows in telling you that my home is in the sky, and I believe this is just one more to add to the list.
Jules, Waltz, have you guys ever seen one of these before? Sorry to refer to you as such, I guess, but
It's all right. I have not been all that kind about the rest of you and your strange appearances.
Wow, you're
No,
more self-aware
Dax,
than I thought.
I never seen one of these before, and I'll be giving Reynard belly pats, like on the big
Uh,
rib cage.
He's like
Okay,
trying
I'm
to
kidding.
he's trying to shrug you off, but then his foot starts kicking.
Zoki grabs Waltz's wrists and just kind of pulls it away and looks at him, shaking her head like, we don't, like, anamorphic races, like, we don't, that's not, don't do
Thank you,
that.
Zoki. Yes.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Jules,
Reynard, I've
you?
No, I can't say I have. Though I don't suppose you have your reasons for hiding your race.
It is not my choice. It is my people's choice. It is their our society believes that we should not be known and we should keep ourselves secret from the world. So we pride ourselves on our ability to mask who we are.
That's
well, I want to
interesting.
know more, but I'll respect your privacy, I suppose.
You know, I've
Okay.
seen one of you guys before. Not,
Truly.
I mean, in the form you're in now.
One of my brethren. Where was this? Who were they?
I mean, he certainly wasn't as boisterous as you were, but I mean, maybe.
Not many are.
The name's Skyblade. I feel like you said that when we met, right?
That is Raul Vega. He is my greatest rival and enemy, a betrayer of my friendship and my home. Raul Vega is the Skyblade, and he is a dangerous person. You met him before.
He called himself the Skyblade, but when he was talking to me, he said it in Draconic, Zorak. But yeah, he never said his actual name, I guess. But
And
Met
he
him
was
down
moving
in
about
Drakenheim.
with his true form for all to see. It is just another proof of his betrayal of our people. I would prefer to keep a masked form, but I am afraid that being separated from the Flora Devida, my ability to maintain my disguise is weakening.
Raul Vega is that guy that was at the node earlier, right?
The one I was fending off, yes.
And Dax, you said you worked with him in Drekheim?
I mean, worked with is maybe a bit of a stretch. I did a job for him. I mean, I guess you could say he's the reason I got off Dracus. It was kind of one last score to get me off the planet, and he was the one who hired me to do it.
That would explain where he got that strange flying creature.
Tuff will take kind of an even firmer stance and just glare a little bit more suspiciously at Dax. Care to elaborate on this job you had?
I mean, yeah, long story short, I was hired to get a ingot of some rare metal, and in exchange, they were going to get me off-world and set me up so I could start a new life. It didn't really go to plan, of course. Guys as dirty as that hardly keep good company. They pulled one over on me in the end. Never paid me. I ended up making it through the node, obviously, but not a piece of gold to my name.
Huh. A new life, huh? Guys in our line of work know something like that doesn't exist.
Well, before you, I didn't know what a pirate was, so I don't know that we're in the same line of work.
Reynard will put a hand on Dak's shoulder and say, "It would appear that I am not the only one in this party who has been betrayed by Raoul."
Don't tell me I was the catalyst to this place falling.
No. You were not the catalyst. They were, at least not to my knowledge. Raoul is the catalyst. Perhaps he manipulated you or used you, but you would not be the first, and unfortunately I am just as guilty in that case.
Look, this is all a lot for one morning, and I haven't even had my coffee yet, so just give me a second. And Tuff will walk away and go set up his little coffee brewing kit towards the mouth of the cave.
I'll go help him.
Jules and Tuff, can you roll me a perception check?
Oh, yeah, sure, Zach.
And by Jules and Tuff, do you mean me and Adam?
Joel, I want you to leave in the longest pause of absolute silence.
Can you
Ryan
somehow
says it.
put Zach's stunned, stupefied expression in the podcast? I got a 21. Did you too?
I got a 22.
Ah, dang it.
So the two of you, as you go towards the mouth of the cave and start setting up the brewing kit to make some coffee, look out the mouth of the cave and just see it's no longer raining. You can hear the sounds of like exotic birds chirping in the trees, animals you don't really know, and there's lots of dew on the leaves and like big puddles around. You can tell it's rained heavy all night. And you sort of look out into the sky just to get a bearing on your surroundings. And you can see like off in the distance on this island, there is a large volcano. And you can just hear a steady, low, consistent rumble as if it is erupting, but in a very stable way and just sort of puffing fumes out into the sky, and there is some subtle ash raining down on the island. Thus the name Ashmark.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
Campaign is
okay.
over.
Yes.
My setup.
I thought you
is
said
done.
ass mark this whole
Season,
time. I thought there's a
yeah.
big butt here.
Yeah, well, there is. It's
I mean, what is a
Skid mark.
volcano, really? You know?
yeah, just a giant butt.
Tuff will just kind of take in the view while brewing his coffee and say to Jules, "We've seen our fair share of islands while we were sailing around, didn't we?
I'd say a lifetime's share.
Never saw anything like that, though." And Tuff will motion towards the volcano.
No, it's quite fascinating.
Probably even hotter than Dracus.
I suppose we'd have to ask Dax.
Yeah, certainly don't want to find out for myself how hot it is there.
Yeah, me either. What a night last night. I don't know how we made it through.
Honestly, same. I thought you were going to get crushed by that T-Rex.
Me too, if I'm being honest. I don't know what I was thinking. I just, panicked.
Technically,
we've all been
Do something. Wasn't expecting the GM to laugh at me so much, but
If only I had longer legs.
if only I had longer legs.
Hey, we've all made stupid plans before. Well, I mean, I guess not all of us, but... And Tuff, sort of shrugs his shoulders back all confidently.
I'm just glad that we are all here in one piece.
Speaking of, Jules, there's something I want to talk to you about. And Tuff will glance over his shoulder, see if there's anyone around.
Oh? What is it?
Dax will walk up and grab a cup of coffee if he can. You know, Tuff.
Whoa, I was drinking that.
You know, Tuff. This stuff is pretty wild, but it's grown on me.
Oh, Dax, hey. Yeah, just the guy we were looking for. Grab a mug. Oh, so you already took Jules's? Alrighty.
It's okay, I'll grab another.
I engraved it and
thank you.
everything.
So tell me about that Volthorn guy you were dealing with at the bar. What was that all about?
Well, he was extremely shady, for starters. I think we mentioned he was blue. Kind of stout fellow. Very pushy.
What, do you know the guy or something? Can't be that small of a solar system.
There aren't like a ton of kobolds outside of Dracus, but given what I went through and seeing how it connects to Don Renard, I mean, did this guy have a water skin on him by chance?
Could I...
Yeah, why don't you all
Roll
just
to
roll me
see.
a perception check, like recalling what you saw.
23.
13.
Jules, as you reflect back on this kobold, replacing yourself in that scenario, in that speakeasy style bar with this kobold sitting across from you, you're doing your best to remember everything you saw. Dax specifically asked if he had a water skin, and you can vaguely remember him moving his cloak at one point and seeing a water skin at his side, and the reason it was distinct is because it had large teeth attached around it, as if it was sewn into it.
As a matter of fact, he did. If I remember right, had some menacing-looking teeth.
Teeth, yeah.
Sewn into it.
That son of a... Yeah,
So
that wasn't
you know
Volthorn,
him?
like I said. That's good old Zig.
Zig!
That kobold has been a thorn in my side for as long as I can remember. He stole that water skin from me, I'll have you know.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dax. If I'd have known, I would have taken it from him right then and there.
I can't blame you. He's pretty crafty. He's the one who ended up meeting me at the node, and in fact, he tried to kill me for that metal I was talking about. Luckily, my buddy Meeg helped fight him off while he was attacking me, and thankfully I made it through. I'm keeping an eye out for Meeg. I hope I find him. I have no idea if he made it through the node at all. If Zig got him, I don't know what, but I hope I don't run into him anytime soon.
I'm sorry, Dax. If I'd have known.
I know, buddy.
If it's any consolation, he made my stomach churn the moment I met him.
He does that, doesn't he?
He does.
Let me get this straight. Zig, the blue kobold Jules and I saw at the bar. You know him from Dracus, and he's working with this Raul Vega, the
Absolutely.
Kitsune.
It all connects.
And you worked with both of them in the past too, but they screwed you over.
That about sums it up.
And
Are
some
you sure you're not a pirate?
You know, the more you guys describe your pirate life, the more I think maybe I am.
We're not so different, you and us.
Can I use lie to me to see if Tuff thinks Dax is lying about any of this?
Yes, I will roll for Dax.
Okay. So my deception DC is +9.
And what is your deception, Dax?
+10.
Oh, mother.
You do not get the impression that Dax is lying to you in any detectable way.
Waltz will notice that the conversation's getting pretty serious and try and read their lips if I could, GM Zacharnessi.
And this is because you have a feat for that or something, right?
Oh, yeah. Free feet, read lips.
Nice.
You can read lips of others nearby who you can clearly see. The language read must be one that you know. When you're at your leisure, you can do this automatically. Oh, I just do it automatically. In encounter mode or when attempting a more difficult feat of lip reading, you are fascinated and off guard during each round in which you focus on lip movements. And it goes on for a little bit longer. But yeah, it seems like it's just automatic, so if I could do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Walt's just your history, like being in a bustling market and like struggling to hear people at times when they're ordering things from the butcher shop, but like still being able to read their lips and just being someone who thrives in social situations and picking up on body language and little subtle changes and facial expressions and things like that. You are very gifted at reading lips. And like you said, you picked up on the conversation getting slightly tense, and you can tell that Dax is pretty like oblivious to this change in emotion from Tuff. Tuff is clearly like very skeptical of Dax right now in a way that isn't just like playful skepticism or confusion. He seems to be very locked in on Dax and like wants to get to the root of something, almost like he has an agenda of sorts. And Jules is also just sort of oblivious to this, just relaying information to Dax. And yeah, you picked up on literally everything that was said, plus that like subtle tension that's building.
Okay, cool. That's all I want to do. I guess I'm just observing right now.
Okay.
Tough, you were about to say something right before Dax walked up.
After taking in everything Dax just said, Tuff just thinks back to information that was provided to him from Geldir. Still debating whether he should totally trust that information, but just hearing from the lips of Dax now all the other shady stuff that he's done and the people that he's been involved with. Tuff's just getting very like suspicious, weird vibes from Dax that he might have ulterior motives of sorts, or not exactly thinking that Dax is totally good guy, and starting to trust this information that Geldir gave him a little bit more. But obviously doesn't want to show his hand right now. So after Jules asks Tuff what he was going to say, Tuff will kind of scatterbrainedly say, "Oh, I was gonna ask you what you thought about having a freaking dog in the group. I mean, come on, are you kidding me?"
Tough, that's a little
What?
insensitive.
So
Sounds a
that's
bit
where you
racist,
draw
if
the
I'm being
line?
honest.
We've got a robotic cat, a kobold,
Yeah, is it because
a
you're a
fish
cat?
man.
Are you?
Dogs are
threatened?
just so, dumb.
Tough.
Reynard's over there with Zoki, and he's like, every time I try to catch it, it gets away. He keeps trying to grab his tail. I just don't understand.
It's actually really easy. Just like watch, and then she like controls her tail and then grabs it. Can you not control your tail?
What? He's like, it kind of has a life of its own. It smacks him in the face. Oh, no. I'm going to get you. I will get you one day.
No.
I will get you one day.
You see what I mean? I mean, all I'm saying is I built my own tail, and this guy's barely ever seen his.
Come on, Tough. We've seen Captain Perry. This should be possibly the least shocking thing we've seen in this universe.
Well, guys, I'm going to go see if Waltz needs anything. See ya. Dax will chug the rest of the coffee and set it down. Thanks, Tuff. And Dax will go check on Waltz. Just seeing how he's looking medically. I know that in Pathfinder, because it's hard, you don't just get hit points for sleeping. So I got to actually heal
that.
everybody.
I
You do get
noticed
some.
that. You get a little bit, but yeah.
So I guess what you would see, Dax, is I look pretty good. I'm almost fully healed. So I'll be moving good, not too many scrapes. Yeah, Waltz is in good condition.
And how about you, Don Renard?
I have had better days, but this is not my worst. I feel revived as much as I think is necessary, and I can fight if I need to.
Look, let me just work a little of my magic. We'll get you topped up, all right? And then Dax will do just a normal treat wounds on him. We'll go ahead and use Ward Medic because I can, which just means I can do it to two people, so Waltz and Don Renard in this case, and just do a treat wounds.
While you're doing that, Zoki stands over Don Renard, like while you're patching him up, and she goes, "So, what's the plan? It seems like you can sense this Flora Devida. Are we close? Do you know where to go?"
I know the direction we are to go, but we are closer than we have been in some time, but I cannot say if it is around the corner or down the street, so to speak.
Okay.
I can I do anything magically to get like a better sense of like the distance?
I would say you do know the general direction, but as part of your separation from it, as shown by your inability to sustain the spell that changes your
My
appearance.
tail is form, yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you are struggling to really connect with it, and you almost get this sense that the Flora Devida itself is weaker, which would make sense because it's been away from the soil for longer. So everything about detecting it has become harder. So you really do just have a general direction.
I will say, I do believe that it is getting weaker and weaker the longer we take. So as much as I wish that we could rest longer, if you could conduct your magic quickly there, Dax, then I believe we should go as fast as we can because time is of the essence and it is not our friend.
Hey, you got it. I'll be quick.
Yeah, I don't think Duke will be too happy if we don't make it back.
Just give me 10 more minutes. It'll be fine.
I am 19 points down from max.
Okay. That is a 20 on Don Renard's.
Success, regular.
Hey, Dax, when you're finished up over there, can you come take a look at some of my wounds?
Hey, you got it, buddy. Just a minute.
Take your time.
That is 9 hit points down, Renard.
Thank you there, Dax. I appreciate it.
Hey, feeling better?
Yes, I do feel.
Told you it'd be worth it. So I guess you both will regain 9, I suppose?
Oh, sweet.
It doesn't really specify if I have to roll them separately or not.
Before Dax walks up, I'll say to Tough, I'll sit down and lean back on a rock and maybe take my my notebook out and just sketch a little bit. And I'll say, Tough, I know you've been through a lot. I don't even know what happened after I lost you on the boat with Captain Perry, although I do want to find out what happened. You have to tell me that story sometime.
Oh, boy.
But, I understand your skepticism with this group, and I can tell there's a wall up, but I trust these boys. And if you're my friend, I hope you can learn to trust them too.
No, Jules, you don't get it. There's something I have to tell you.
Dax will go ahead and walk up and pull out some medical supplies and start to work on Jules.
Yeah, roll it up. Roll up your healing for Jules, and then you can do ward medic for Tough.
That is a 19.
Success.
I am trained in medicine. Could I do a medicine check on myself?
If you borrowed like Dax's
Some of his
healing
tools.
you could.
That is 7 hit points for each of you.
Right on.
And then as Dax is there, Tuff will just look over to Jules. We'll talk later, okay?
All right.
Dax, if you wouldn't mind, I know some things about my people that maybe you don't. If I could borrow your medicine tools, just very briefly.
Yeah, feel free, and I'll toss them over. So, where are we going, Renard?
I rolled a 17. What am I aiming for?
That's a success. Yeah.
Okay,
15,
that's
you need like
2d8 then?
Yep.
I rolled 2 ones.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Just a little bit about your people that he doesn't.
The tail keeps getting in my way. I can go ahead and pull my sword out and maybe just do another sense to just reinforce the direction to go.
Yeah. I'll say you won't like lose the information you had, but if you want to roll to see if you gain any new information,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and roll an Arcana.
Okay. Natural 20.
Nice.
Sick.
He is one with the flour tortilla.
Okay. Yes.
That's like the best roll that you could get.
Yes. You pull out
Something
your
about
blade.
being in his true form.
And something about just getting a good night's rest, getting some healing, revealing your true self to them. You suddenly just feel like very comfortable in this group in a way you haven't. And it allows you to focus more clearly. And you can tell the exact direction, vaguely the distance. You feel like you don't actually have that far to go. And most importantly, you can tell the Flora Devida is critically weak in a way that doesn't seem natural. Like if it was simply just removed from the soil for this amount of time, it should have had more energy.
Somebody's
than
doing
it does.
something with it.
So something, is causing it to be drained faster.
Cervantes, we must go. I'm gonna like gesture for him. Someone is doing something to the Flora Devida. We do not have time to waste. I'm sorry. We have lingered too long. Follow me.
All right. Are you just hopping on him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
Renard
I'm not
just
that fast.
hops on Smith, hits the reins, Cervantes, and takes off into the sky.
Hey, buddy.
We gotta go.
How about a heading?
Dax, can you carry us with your new wings?
Dax reaches back to pat his wings. Ow! No, we're not going anywhere.
I think Reynard will have also like swung Zokia behind him if he could.
Okay, yeah.
So she's with him on Cervantes.
He's like, I'm still not used to this.
Just hang on.
You see what I mean about dogs, Jules? He forgot about us.
And then maybe like Cervantes can like like scraw or something in the sky to kind of get their attention. Just like follow us. We're in the sky.
Absolutely.
That's enough, Tough. And then I'll start running, following.
Waltz will follow after as well.
Do it.
So, Renard, you are soaring towards the point you now know the Flora Devida is. Can you roll me a perception check?
Certainly. Come on, dice.
With a +4 circumstance bonus, kind of as part of your...
+4 circumstance gets me to a 32.
Oh, dang. Yes, you are
Fantastic.
laser focused as you're flying through the ash that's raining down, flying high over the jungles, avoiding any creatures you may have encountered. And you realize this really isn't that far away where you were going. Hopefully Digsby's crew is sprinting behind you. You can tell this is a relatively small island, and sort of looking to your left and right across the ocean. To the east, it's just vast ocean for a long time, maybe like a smaller island off in the distance. And then to the west, you can see a large island. In fact, you can even see ships off the coast of this other island. You can tell there's some sort of like military formation over there, but you don't have any time to worry about that. Don't care about that. Flying forward, and you see some ancient-looking ruins peeking out over the thick canopy of trees, and you know that this is where the Flora Devida is.
Cervantes, he kind of leans forward so he gets closer to the hippogriff's face and trying to speak to him amidst the wind and the air, and he says, "Do you feel that, my friend? It is there. I know it is there."
He snorts, determined, pins his wings back, and starts to dive bomb towards these ruins. And we'll cut over to the rest of Dixie's crew.
Okay, I just realized I have a spell I've never used yet, and I could use it here.
Okay.
I would like to cast No Direction.
Okay.
In my mind's eye, I see a path northward, so I immediately know which direction is north. So I want to cast that, gauge where north is, and then take note of which direction Don Renard is flying, so that I know
Ooh,
if we get lost in the woods
Nice.
that he was heading
smart.
this
That
direction.
helps. Okay.
So I will cast it, play a little tune on my ocarina, and maybe a little droplet floats up and just shoots northway. And so I'll look up and take note of which way he's going, which is...
North. West.
All right, boys, we've got our heading. We can't lose him now.
Care to share?
Northwest, if that matters, if you happen to know where northwest is.
No, I don't. That's the point.
I mean, I just cast a spell. Do you want me to explain it while we're running, or do you just trust me?
Fine. I guess the latter.
There's no ladders. If we had one, maybe we could see him better. That was a joke. You guys, you can
Can you
laugh.
all roll me a perception
We
check? Those are the best jokes when you give people permission to laugh. That's how you know it's a good one. You can laugh.
Mine
Not my
bad.
best
Mine
work.
9.
Maybe my wife will laugh when she
Okay,
listens to
that's
this later.
8.
14.
14.
Dang it.
That's
9.
an expert skill.
Mine was a nat 1, but like 8 if it matters.
Jeez, none of us know anything.
Zach
Okay.
loves when people.
I know where northwest
Yeah,
is.
yeah. All right, so you're all just following Jules and not really taking any meaningful note of your surroundings. You've thrown like all caution to the wind in terms of like things you might encounter, hoping that even if you do, you can just keep sprinting as you're running through this jungle.
Waltz will be running by Tough, and he'll say, "Well, north is this way and west is that way, so what we do with our direction stuff is we, like in the middle would be northwest, because it's in between those two.
Oh my god!
That's
I get
east,
that
over
part.
here, that's south, yeah."
But because you're not one, you're pointing like the complete wrong directions as you're like saying all these things.
You just know that, that way's north because the sun rises in the east, it sets in the west, so you know those two things. You always know where you're at.
Yeah.
I don't know why
okay,
Jules
buddy.
used a water droplet. He could have just looked at the sun.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. You keep eating your crayons.
All right.
All right, you guys are just sprinting through the brush, following Jules's lead. Jules, you may have vaguely off in the distance caught a glimpse of Cervantes Smith, whatever you want to call him, descending downward. So you feel like you at least know the distance, roughly, the direction you need to go. I said descending downward. Joel laughed. So you can tell about how much further you have to run.
It's just a bit further, boys. Keep at it.
And we'll cut back over to Renard.
Como flecha en el viento, Cervantes.
Silky goes, what? What does that mean?
Fly like an arrow in the wind.
Oh, he's dive bombing! Oh my gosh! And he soars down and slides on the ground at the entrance of these ruins. They look like a stacked pyramid of tiers rather than like a smooth pyramid, like the Egyptian pyramids, more maybe like, hopefully I'm not way off on my cultures here, but like a Mayan pyramid or Aztec, I'm not exactly sure. Someone knows better than me, but you know. And there is a large opening, a massive doorway. This is very ancient architecture, crumbled, looks very abandoned, vines hanging over it, moss everywhere, and you can tell that the Flora Devida is inside. Can you roll me another perception check?
Perception check.
Come on, dice. 13. I rolled a 2.
Okay. You throw absolute, like you detect nothing really. You're just like, this is it. This is where I need to go. Like you just want to sprint into this doorway. Is that what you do?
Absolutely. I think he's kind of I think the weakness of like being separated from the Flora Devida and the sense that it is losing power, I think he's kind of thrown caution to the wind a little bit and is being somewhat reckless.
And as you start running in, Zoki's like, wait, what are you doing? And then she just starts running after you, doesn't want to be separated from you. It's almost like you forgot she was there. As you enter, only the natural light that's flooding in is illuminating this pyramid, save for a tall pillar of stairs in the center. This pyramid doesn't have many rooms. It's not very elaborate. It seems like mostly an open room, though you can't really see the corners because of how dark it is and just how you did on your perception check. And you simply see a very faint blue glow atop this pedestal, the same color of the Flora Devida, and you know that this is precisely where it is from your nat 20 earlier. And as you run towards it, you freeze for a moment as you see there is a figure next to it, a hooded figure with tattered robes with holes in them, looks to their left, revealing a white, bushy beard and glowing red eyes that suddenly flare the same color as the Flora Devida as you see glow all around you, causing you to look side to side and realize that you had rushed past what now looks like just a heap of dead bodies, dead soldiers that start to twitch as you hear bones snap and groans, and perhaps hundreds of these soldiers slowly rise to their feet. They have gray, lifeless skin, black ooze coming out of their teeth, and their eyes glow green for a moment to then surge the same color as the Flora Devida, as Renard and Zoki are now surrounded by an army of undead, and that is where we'll end our session.
We barely got away
all
after
those like
fighting
gray
like
things
eight
that we
of
fought
them.
before.
I'm glad I healed
Yeah,
you guys.
it's
At least
Josh,
a little bit.
I want to know what you're gonna
I'm so
I
sad
wanna know
right
what
now
we're gonna
because
talk about.
this beautiful power is being used to do something so nasty.
Oh, hey,
So
man! I know that's, hey, Josh, I know
nasty.
that that's bothering you, but like, and I
So
want to be there for you,
nasty.
but I really just need you to shut. Shut up,
Hey,
Josh, because we're going to talk about the downtime, which
Zachary.
for patrons will react to the most recent episodes. So we'll talk about all the roleplay in the beginning, how Josh was feeling, how he just like, you know, is watching this beautiful Flora Devida be used for something so evil. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. But yeah, like I said, that's for the downtime. So yeah, check that out if you want. If you don't. So yes, I guess that would be your option.
Go about your day.
So let's react to some things we've seen online, just some comments and feedback. One thing I've never really read on here, but I do love seeing, is that on Spotify you can comment on episodes. So it's not really like a review, but you can just kind of like hear from people. Yeah, it's just fun. So if you guys listen on Spotify, if you ever want to do that, just know that I love reading them, and I always share them with the crew. And yeah, we really, really appreciate that stuff. There was one that I really liked the other day on Origins Dax Part 3, and this is the episode in which Jib pulled a guitar out of his throat and played that song that Ryan went super hard on. Someone commented, "You can't make such a stupid joke about a frog sounding stupid because he has a guitar named Frog in his throat, and immediately after drop a banger song." Which I just It's really okay. So a little bit of background on that is like, and this is something we kind of talked about on like downtimes and stuff. But like Ryan made that song just like on his own for fun because he just had a creative itch and just made it and then shared it with us. And like I listened to it, I was like, man, that is so cool. Like I really want that to be in the podcast somehow. So I called him. We were talking about it. I was like, it'd be cool if you made like, I don't know, like a cowboy type character, and then maybe we could just have him play it before the heist or something. He goes, oh, okay, cool. And like that's all I talked to Ryan about it. And then we start Origins Dax Part 1, and he's this stupid burping frog. And I'm like, where is he going with this? Like, what the heck? And so I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And then he pulled a frog out of his throat and had a cool, smooth country voice and then sang a country song. So, Ryan. And also, I'm really glad that everyone loves Jib and everyone loves that song. And Jib is like a hero. And we gave Ryan a ton of crap for making Jib when we were playing that. And we're like, Ryan, this is almost too stupid. So, Ryan, here's your flowers, bro.
About making
Jib.
No, dude.
Any like top 10 list of your guys' show where they're like the top 10 most biggest surprises of the podcast. There's no way that Jib doesn't end up in like the top 3 with the guitar coming out of his mouth.
Yeah,
I think I would have forever felt guilty if I didn't end up with so much support from like the Discord.
Jib worked great. And even I love Jib. Like once we started listening to the edited episodes after Joel suffered through editing that, I was like, you know what? This
The
works.
defeat in Joel's face after episode 1.
I think it was once he realized you were all stupid. Like once all three of you
that
were
was
just
the thing.
idiots.
Was it just like every
Everybody
single
filled that
NPC
role.
was like,
Yeah.
I will say I was not expecting to be the most like complicated.
I know, me either.
That was so funny that it worked out that way, that you were like the leader.
Yeah, with his little brother in the trench coat or the leader of our group.
And like most of Taryn's roleplay is just going, huh? Okay. But it like works so well.
I love that.
Low effort
Anyway,
character idea.
Hey, Zach,
What?
shut up.
Oh, you're right. Okay, that is, yeah, sorry, my bad. But also, I'm going to shut up you guys extra hard on the next one for that, because you don't say shut up with me, okay? That's going to be, actually, I forgot we're recording.
Okay.
I can only be this mean to you off air. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cut that.
Thank you
Joel.
guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time, mortals.
Can I get a perception check at any point to see if I notice?
Taryn, shut
any of
up.
this?
Taryn, shut up.
Dude, you're not a part of this. Back off.
Dude, this isn't a game.
Taryn,
You don't
shut
get to
up,
play.
dude. Oh my god.
Feel free to do whatever you
Can
want.
we mute him? Is there a way to mute? Like, he hasn't been talking like so long.
He's like the
Hey,
most
can I-
respectful and patient.
Yeah, I think it's this
I just
one.
want to roll a piece, roll a dice too, if I could.
Roll a piece of dice.
Roll a piece of dice. Just want to roll one.
Love to be a part of a game. Love to roll some dice sometime.
how do I disable the sound?